Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from and when you're watching this video. It's Elzenitho, and basically today we are going to be creating a design. There's sometimes when you really do not have like an idea in mind, but sometimes when you just scroll through some image sites and you just see some images and you're like, oh, I love this image, I love this image. And so, concept just come from you just viewing images. And so I was able to like collate some images, right? I was able to collate some images and I was like, you know what, I can do something with this image, something relating to, you know, like a powerful lady that can serve different purpose. So this lady is the same, she's the same person here and also here and also here. So yeah, I'm going to do more like a movie poster, right? The name would come to us when we start the design. But yeah, I'm going to do like what's it called? I'm going to do like a movie poster kind of shot. So first off, we're going to come to I'm using Photoshop 2023. Yeah, it's a dope software. Anyways, we're going to call, let's not call it a particular name yet because we don't have a name for it yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go with the flow, right? For our width, because we want it to be a very, very detailed design. For our width, we are working with 5,000, or let's work with 4,000. And for our height, we're working with 5,000. Resolution 300. And for the background, we're working with a dark background because the poster I have in mind is like a dark vibe, a dark theme poster. Yeah, something like this. So this time I'm going to introduce ruler. So you can come here and can show your rulers. Yeah, control. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to introduce ruler just to make sure we don't go beyond some boundaries, right? I mean, it's not necessary because it's photo manipulation, but let's just give it like this kind of concept where we're actually designing for a movie poster, right? And you have to take note of the bead, right? That's what it's like, the spaces where after it is being printed and it's going to be cut, you know, so that printers don't cut out important informations. Yeah, so we're going to take this image, each image one by one, and we're going to remove the background. So we're going to open as Photoshop, and first off I'm going to just use the AI tool. So you know what we're going to do, I'm just going to take our time to open each image, and okay, as you can see, it's going to take me a bit of time to properly select it. And so yeah, I'm going to come back to this. I'm just going to pause and come back to this. So yeah, all right guys, so I've been able to, after several minutes, I've been able to properly remove the background. We have this, we have this, we have this, and we have this. So yeah, I was able to use different tools, pen tool, lasso tool, just to ensure that I got the exact vibe I was looking for. So the first thing I want to do is get the background set. So for the background, right, I thought of using something like this just for the background. Okay, just give me a minute. I have to use a third party. I have to use a third party. What's it called? Code to allow me to be able to drag and drop, because Windows 11, I don't know, probably is my Windows 11, but if I mean it doesn't allow drag and drop. So yeah, this is not exactly the background I'm going for, but I mean we're going to work around it, just play around it and do one or two things and stuff. So we have this playing around, then let's just bring in something else. We have this background as well. All right, right, so I mean, this background is, it has some personality in it, but the idea is to mix both backgrounds together, right? So let's just see what we can do with it. I mean, it's just, we're just going with the flow at this point in time. We do not really have a particular concept in mind, right? So let me try one or two things. All right, I like this feel. Yeah, I like this vibe, like this whole vibe going forward. But I mean, there's a bit of light coming here. I want to remove that light. So before then, remember it is soft light we used. So let's first turn it back to normal. Then we are going to take away this whole bright vibe going on here. Let's just take this away. Right? Feel content aware, and so it's going to remove that and just replace it with. It's going to use AI to just do the magic as usual. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, got it. All right, so let's just make it a bit clean. So I'm going to just yeah, exactly. So let's go back to soft light. Now it looks better right now. So that was the first part, and for the background, I'm going to, because I don't want, I mean, we have soldiers in it, and but I don't want it to look, I want to blur it a little bit so it doesn't have this, it doesn't like, that's not the emphasis, kind of. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and so you can see, I mean, it's better now, but let's, yeah, something like this works. So let's go with 28. 28. All right. And so if you see, if I turn this off, you can see the difference. So it's giving it this kind of red vibe, so which is what I want. Then as well, I got this this image. Let me just open it using Photoshop. I love the silhouette. Yeah, this silhouette. So I'm going to use this silhouette. And if you want to pick, since it's all in black, if you want to pick just the black part, you can just come down here and select. Under select, you come down to select and you choose color range, and under color range you can sample the color black, and you can see that automatically picks the black. Then you can, yeah, let's just, so we press OK. Now you can see that pick the black, but it also selected some blacks up here, but we don't want that. So let's just pick our lasso tool and choose subtract. Then we subtract. Exactly. So we are left with this. Then we can Control J, and we are left with this. Awesome. Then we can just drag this into our design, and we can enlarge it like so. All right, so yeah, you bear with me. The images I got, they are pretty low quality, so we just have to make do with what we have. Yeah, so let's I mean, this works, but I think we can actually, yeah, it works for me. Another thing you can do is we can turn this, we can just use transform, and we can flip it vertically, and so the red is up. Yeah, I'm actually correct. Undo, redo, flip vertical, so the red is up. Yeah, something like this. So that way we are able to properly see the, what's it called, the characters here. But I mean, this whole thing is looking off, so let's just stick with this. But we can just create a bit of light just under here. System. We can create a bit of light under. So create a new layer. Let's just call it light. So yeah, then we can select a bright color, just something bright, and Then take your brush to ensure it is 0% hardness. Then we can zoom out, increase your stuff, and just, yeah, something like this. So I'm just going to stick with that and just extend it slightly. That way we are not compromising the placement of the background. So yeah, we have this, and it's time for us to start placing in our character, right? So first off, the way I am envisioning it is this particular head will be the one floating, right? It's going to be like the, like this kind of Marvel vibe where the head is at the back and other characters are just around it. So this one would be by the side, probably the left. Then this would be by the right. You can see that they are facing each other, and like it's like a mirror image kind of. Then this would be the middle. So yeah, let's start with the middle part. We bring her in. So we're going to bring her in. So we just call this soldier 1. Excuse me. Call this soldier 1. Let's bring this light just above her. Soldier 1. Then we bring in this. And we bring in this. And so the main one would be in front, right? So yeah, exactly. Don't worry, we are still going to do a bit of edit, but yeah, then finally we bring this to the center, and we might have to just make it slightly bigger. Then everything at the back. All right, so basically this is the vibe we are going for. Then let's start walking. So let's name this soldier 2, soldier 3, and finally edge. All right, so first off, let's pick these 3 soldiers and let's reduce their size. Yeah, something like this works. Then for the lady, for the head, it's still fine here, since we are going to use a bit of light to just brush it off. All right, so now that that is done, the next thing we want to do is we want to ensure that they all have the same color theme. So one way you can do that is just, since they have similar color theme, but we want it to have this cinematic vibe, one way we can do it is just apply, like create a color adjustment layer, then apply it to others. So let's start with the head. So we can just no, let's start with the soldier, the first soldier here. We can create a color lookup. Let's pick something that's, yeah, this orange and nope. Just play around till you get the one that you feel works well for you. So I'll still go back to that first one. Excuse me. All right, let's just assume we are working with this. I'm going to close this tab so we can properly see this. Let's assume we're working with this. We're clipping it to just the lady. Then still under that, we are going to add some curves. We're going to add bits of brightness and contrast. right, so now that we have that, we can then lastly, let's include a color fill, a solid fill. Let's choose something, yeah, like this. Then just give it like a soft light. Is a soft light okay, or a multiply? Let's see, a soft light multiply. Let's use multiply. Then we can reduce the fill. All right, so something like this works. Then we are going to then duplicate, bring it down to the second soldier and clip it to the second soldier. Duplicate, bring it down to the third soldier and clip it to the third soldier, right? And finally, duplicate, bring it to the edge and clip it to the edge. So we have something like this. Yeah, let's group all the soldiers together. Ctrl G. We can call them soldiers. And for the head as well, I'll call it floating head. Now the next thing we want to do is introduce a bit of light that would cover up all this. And so my favorite light to use is usually the one that do not I don't need to like start creating it from scratch, but I mean I can also create it, but it's just just to save time we can just go with what we have already. So yeah, we have this, and you just rasterize screen. Yeah, screen. Then you can make it slightly bigger. Don't worry, we still play around with a lot of lights, but let's bring one just in front here. Let's reduce it. Yeah, so time to introduce. Now for the head, let's duplicate and just merge the group, right? So we have just this head, right? Now create a layer mask. So by creating this, you come down here, create a layer mask. Then you can take your brush, and what we want to do is to brush through this part and remove those parts that we want to remove. Just play around the brushing exactly something like this. Just play around it like that. When you see that you've done too much, you can reduce. But yeah, just play around it like so. Exactly, something like this. And so we have this floating head that still looks very, very cool. And so we are going to duplicate the head, Ctrl J, and I'll probably use yeah, multiply works. And the reason why I use multiply is so we can give it this sharp look, although we are still going to reduce that, but just to give it this sharp look. You can see the difference, right? So let's save our work first. Let's save it. So we still have not decided the name, but let's just come up with a name. Limitless. Limitless, does that work? It's a tale of a soldier, a female soldier that is doing multiple things at the same time. So what name can we give it? Let me see. I don't want a name that is just, yeah, let's just work with Limitless. I mean, it just dropped, so or we can give it a name of what's it called, a year. So let's go online, right? Feminist movement feminist movement started start date. So it started in 1846. Amazing. So we're going to call it Limitless 1846. That's a long time ago. So the name of the poster itself would be 1846, right? But underneath you can just put Limitless. Yeah, just women power kind of vibe. So let's zoom in a bit, then play around this light. I mean this particular small light. The reason why I placed it here is so it can, let's blur this light a little bit. Yeah. So we can add the same light to, can add the same light here. Let's see if we can use nope. No, it doesn't work. I was trying to do something, but it's not working out. So we'll do that later. But anyways, we have this look. It's looking cool. It's looking, although a bit too colorful, but I mean, walk around that. So for the soldiers, right? What we want to then do is this: we want to make it darker. I mean, it's taking a lot of. It's too bright. So for the soldiers, let's duplicate, merge it into one. Then let's bring in brightness and color and contrast. Then we are going to darken it slightly. Yeah, we're just going to darken it a little bit, just slightly. I think the most important thing is not even the brightness, it's the exposure. So let's add a bit of, let's reduce some exposure on it. Yeah, something like this. Anyways, when we start adding light and shadows, it should it should clear up by itself. So yeah, that's about that. Let's add, what else do you want to add? Yeah, let's go up here and just bring in, first I'm going to close all this since we are done with this. Excuse me. So I got some flares and stuff that I feel we can use as well. So something like this, we can use this, just like a texture. It's a cinematic poster, so you don't want it to be bland, and so we just try out several things, right? Let's see what we can do when we add motion blur. Just alright, so I'm trying to do something. I hope it works. If it doesn't work, we'll just stick to the original distance. So I'm going to just brush out some parts of this. I'm going to brush out some part of this. Alright, So yeah, I'm also going to brush out this part. This part is it's not making sense. We want this place to be as dark as possible. Alright, so next thing we want to do is we want to introduce some form of light here. Yeah, some form of light there. So as you can see, this light, we want to add more of it. And so to do that, we can just Ctrl J, and we can bring this to the front. Let's see if this works. Do you think this works? Alright, there's a bit of light vibe going on here, which we do not want. So I'm just going to paint across this as well. Alright, so let me turn this off. Okay, yeah, I like that effect. So what we want to do then is we want to we're still going to, don't worry, we're still going to like at least do some things to it, to this whole poster, right, so it doesn't look too bright. So let's bring this, yeah, somewhere here, just at the back. Excuse me. And then let's introduce the name of the poster. (1846). So we're going to use for some reason Times New Roman just looks like a font you should use, but although I still feel there are better fonts there. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out other fonts, right? Yeah, we're going to test out other fonts. Let's see. Let's look at graphic. Okay, you can then reduce the size. 1846. Yep. 1846. Can bring this to the back. The soldiers, right? Let's push it up slightly. (1846). There's this bright stuff going on here. Let's see if we can. I'm coming. I just want to, like I said, we're just going with the flow, and so I'm just trying to test out several things. Yeah, I like this vibe. I like this vibe. So this works for us. Let's delete this 1846. This really works for us. I like the fact that soldiers are going across, and this whole, it's just looking very cool. And so the next thing I want to do is we want to bring this up and normal. We're going to reduce the size because like we said 1846, then limitless. All right, limitless. So I'm just going to make this black. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah. Let's spread it slightly. And yeah, let's place it properly. Bring it down a little bit. It's going to be just beneath the floating edge. Yeah, something like this. But let's even make it smaller. I mean, we want to make it as minimal as possible. Yeah, something like this. Excuse me. Yeah, so um, let's now start doing all this mini edits. So first thing first, light is coming from the back of the soldiers, from the female. They are not female soldiers; they are soldiers. Light is coming from their back, right? So I mean, it's going to like reflect. So let's quickly do that. Selecting soldiers, create a new layer, title it light. Let it be light, and there was light. So what we want to do is we're going to just take our you know what, let's just use, yeah, something like this. So take your brush, reduce it to a very minimal, yeah, something very minimal like this. Then what you want to then do is start brushing across. I mean, if light is showing at the back, where do you think the reflections of lights would show? So at this point as well, you have to, your knowledge of light have to come into play. So yeah, something like that, yeah. So I'm just going to, okay, no, it's not going to show here like this. So I'm just going to play around this, and yeah. So we'll just try to pick those points where we feel like the reflection of lights would show, and yeah, somewhere here. So when you see that it's becoming too much, you can reduce just like so. Go up as well. Continue with this. So yeah, let's just take it one step at a time. Adding light and shadow would always give your design a very realistic look. I mean, it won't be bland and boring. It just gives it a very realistic look, and I think it's very important you always add light and shadow to your designs. I believe that designs never stop, right? Like, you don't finish designing. So immediately you finish, like when you were done with a particular poster design, just give it like, let's say, few hours and come back to that poster. you would see that there are certain things you can still add to the design, and that's why design is always incomplete. Like, you can never get a perfect design, because in the next few minutes you will see something that can make it better, right? Look at the best designs out there. Just check it in 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Go back to the design, you would see several things that would have made the design better. And so at some point you just have to also consider the fact that you can never create a perfect design. So once in a while you just learn to be contented with what you have, while ensuring that you you actually did your best. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm just going to, because the light is going to be at this side. Right, let's zoom out. Now zooming out, you can see the whole lighting that we have done. You can see the difference. Now what we want to then do is we just come down to this and choose either overlay. You can see the difference. Yeah, that's the difference. So I mean, you can always duplicate, Control J, and add to it. I just feel one is okay. But I mean, let's change this to soft light. Then we can reduce it slightly. And so we have this here. So let's add shadow to the front. The reason why we're adding shadow to this front is so that this 1846 can have more feel, right? Yeah, that's the main reason we're adding that. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Take my brush, then just apply shadow. Yeah, something like this. Just apply the shadow. Then you can come down here, reduce the now after adding the shadow, then you can come down to soft light, add soft light, then you can reduce the shadow. Now when you turn it off, you can see the difference. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for the character at the top. Let's go to the edge, the floating edge. So let's just merge this together. Okay, no, we can't merge it together, but let's just let's find a way to create it. So just light. I think this one only needs light, it doesn't really need shadow. So for the lights, let's stick with pure white. And so our brush, I'm going to turn this off. Oh, look at my opacity. Let's ensure it's 100. So all right, so as usual, overlay. Yeah, something like this. This works. So yeah, we are getting there. And yeah, while we continue our design, it's essential that okay, for this light glow at the back, I feel it's too much. Like we need to blur it out. Just add a bit of blur to it. pretty much. Let's see how it looks with this blob. Alright, something like this is fine. Alright, now as usual, like I always say, anytime you're doing your design, always when you bring in models or characters into your design, because your background and your model is two, they are two different layers. It's always essential for you to ensure that it's not so obvious that they are two different layers, and to do that you just use your blur to blur that out. So I'm going to bring it down to 890. So let's just blur out those edges. You know what, let's use 100. Blur out those edges. I mean, I'm not supposed to use 100, but I think we need to blur a lot of things here. You're not blurring the main image, right? Just ensure you're blurring just the edges. And the reason why you're doing that is, let me just give you an example. If you zoom in, the difference between this and the top here shows that the image was placed, and one, the image blended well. So, and that's just the basic difference. That's just the basic reason why we're adding blur, just to ensure that the image blends well with the background, as though they were actually in the background. Yeah, so just do that roughly. You can see the effect it's giving. To ensure that just the edges are blurred out. And so when you have the edges blurred out like that, it makes your work more realistic. It makes it look like actually you didn't really edit much. It's like it's just part of the design itself. See? Yeah, so yeah, we should add a shadow to this spear just by the left. Yeah, let's add some shadow to the spear. Create a new layer, shade. So brush. Yeah, that way it is more cinematic. Multiply. So if I turn it off, you can see, yeah, exactly. So yeah, we are coming close to finalizing our work. We still have Limitless on top. So just quickly, let me just where is Limitless? So I'm going to just duplicate it so that you know I can use it to write my own name. This time I think I will just add the images to I'll just link the images so you all can download and work with it. Elzenitho manipulation. Excuse me. So we're going to make it white. And we're going to reduce it like so. Yeah, Elzenitho manipulation. To some extent, I think I'm satisfied with what I have here. To some extent, I mean, like I said, there's still a lot of things we can include to it, but to some extent, I feel like I really like what. Now, I think there should be a way we can make this 1846 better, kind of. Let me see what we can do. If it doesn't work, I just leave it. So let's duplicate, Ctrl J, let's let me see. I'm just trying to ensure that it doesn't. So I'm going to try to rasterize this and create a layer mask. And first, let me plug my system by Nigeria. So I'm going to clean out some parts of this here. Some part like this. Let me see how it looks like. I think I prefer without. Yeah, let's just leave it as it is. Yeah, let's leave it as it is. So this is that. Yeah, what else can we do to this? What other thing can we include? So let's start rounding it off. I mean, let's add another form of color lookup. This time we would work with foggy night. Foggy night always give this cinematic vibe. Like the vibe is just mad. You can see the difference. Like it's just this is cool but too bright, and this just gives this bump. But how do we blend it? Let's see what we can do to blend it properly. I'll try my best to see how I can blend it properly so that it doesn't lose that touch. Yeah, I think this looks cool. This looks really cool. Now I would have really loved that we just work with that fogging. Like it looks kind of dope. So what we can do is we can have two options, right? We can have this option, like this really looks cool. But I mean no poster would look like this because the characters are lost. Except we then select and pick our brush tool. Our brush has disappeared and start painting across. Just start painting across, something like that. Although we don't necessarily have to go through this whole stress, let's delete this layer mask. The best way to do it is just come to where these characters are. Just select the character, hold Control and select the characters, and then go up to color lookup and click on. Oh, sorry. Go to inverse, then go to color lookup, then click on layer mask. Then you can see it automatically pulls it out, like pull it out of that old vibe. Then if you want to add more, like if you want to clean it up properly, you can then clean it up like so. But I just feel, let's delete the layer. I just feel there should be a way we can play around this. We'll get it, don't worry. Add lights. So width dots. So if you remove all color lookup, this is what we have, and if you had both color lookup, this is what we have. So I'm just going to reduce them slightly. I still want that vibrant view. You know, the way it is sharp, I still want it, but not so much. So yeah, very subtle, and you know. All right. So let's quickly bring in one more light blue. Yep, bring this in. Let's reduce it just to have it on the face. Screen, sorry. So we can apply Gaussian blur. Let's adjust it to suit. Yep, so let's just adjust it somewhere around there. There's something. Yeah, somewhere like this. Just play around the lightning there. And yeah, we have this whole vibe going on. So we are going to stop right here, and we are going to export our file, and you know. But first, the usual magic. Select the first background, the first layer. Hold down Shift, select the last layer. Control Shift Alt E to convert everything to a single layer without losing your files. So save your work. Now let's go to camera raw filter, right? Excuse me. So camera raw filter. So we'll come down here. Alright, this is camera raw filter. You can see how good it looks. So we are not going to do so much. So we just add a bit of edit to it. Just slight edit. Yeah, let's add contrast. We should even be able to add texture just so it looks very real. Yeah, too much texture. Yeah, fair amount of texture. Some DAs here. Don't want too much vibrance. So yeah, I think we are good to go. This looks pretty good, pretty nice. I will press OK. And so this is the before and this is the after, right? So let's say if I work once again. For some reason, I feel this is too dark. Like, I mean, these soldiers, they are too dark. Am I the only one? Although I said, yeah, we should, but I feel their faces should be low more. So yeah, let's just delete this. Let's go to where the ladies are. And let's add a bit of light to their faces. Just paint it. Just paint it, shabbily. Just paint across. Don't worry. You just want to capture the face. So after painting it, let's go to overlay. Yeah, overlay, then we can reduce the overlay. And for some reason I feel this phone should have like what's it called, camera, this what's the name, the light that comes from the camera lens. So let's quickly do that. Let's do that. Bring this in. Screen. Yeah, exactly, something like this. I'm just going to reduce the size. Don't worry, our effect on camera raw filter we can still apply directly without losing. So this here, then Ctrl J. Yeah, something like this. Let's see how that looks. You want to do that? No? Let's delete that. Let's delete that. So let's go back to selecting all our files. Control Shift Alt E. Then filter. You can see camera raw filter is already there, so you don't need to restart all those things. So, and yeah, that's added the whole stuff. Now you can see that the face is brighter. And so yeah, basically that's all for the tutorial. The next, I'm going to do another tutorial where I show you how to animate. Instead of 1846 standing alone, it goes 1846, the start of a new era, kind of that kind of vibe. So yeah, Thank you very much for staying through. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And yeah, if this is your first time, please just subscribe. And yeah, see you next time.